Hello everyone, welcome back to another new video. Today we're watching more anime. Some stuff are brand new, some stuff are just simple classics, and a lot of it is recommended by you. So if there's one anime that you want me to check out, let me know down in the comments. New video, new setup. I think this is setup number 4, I think. So today we're going to watch the Assassination Classroom. This was recommended by the Nameless God 5693. I'm just going to pause you right there because this video is sponsored by Onset Headsets. Onset Headsets is a Canadian-based company and they specialize in making these headsets and wire sets for walkie-talkies. Of course, we've been on the channel for quite some time. One of the #1 big factors that I keep saying about sets that can really improve the quality of the filmmaking and the crew and the cast in general is communication. You want to have constant contact with each other. I love that it came in this little bag. It's nice and safe and it keeps everything all together. This is very easy to slip into your pocket, a backpack, a camera bag, whatever it is that you need. Very easy to set up, very easy to take apart, put it away. Look no further to get your wires done for your walkie-talkies than Onset Headsets. Now, back to the video. So, let's get it, shall we? Interesting, so it's kind of dark and ominous inside the classroom, and outside it's like a beautiful day.
He's fast. The whole class opened fire and he doesn't even have a scratch.
Hey, that's the voice actor for the little mouse guy in My Hero Academia. Very interesting opening, right? I like it. It's comedic. It's like a nice little intro to Assassination, of course. It's like, we're going to figure out who's here, and meanwhile, shoot the target. Although, I wonder what the prize is if you actually hit the target. So, why do we have to keep being reminded that it's Class 3E? Like, it didn't take much in My Hero Academia to be reminded that they're in Classroom 1A. Oh, the opening. Once again, it's 3E. It's like they really need you to make sure that it's Class 3E. Okay, so already within the first few minutes of the show, I'm under the impression that this is kind of more comedic than anything. It's like, I guess more like hero assassins, like assassins that do good work. It's not like we're training a classroom of bad people. I'm glad that they all have very distinct hair color and hair designs and stuff like that. Makes it very easy for the characters to stand out. What gets extremely complicated is when they all look relatively the same. Most of the moon is missing. I didn't think that would become big news, but okay. Okay, I'm very confused. So why do they have this guy who's going to basically obliterate 2/3 of the planet, like Thanos, teaching a classroom to be assassins? Okay, so everything's fine, but he's still going to blow up 2/3 of the planet. Why is everyone using guns? Why can't you use other stuff like, I don't know, poison, bombs? So you're already told this beforehand, and yet you forgot as soon as it was roll call. So here's another question I have. So what's particular about these assassins? Like, again, going back to My Hero Academia as a good comparison, at least in My Hero Academia, one of the first few scenes that we get open up in the first episode is what heroes, or technically pro-heroes, can do. What they're capable of, how talented they are, how they take down like really, really big villains and stuff like that. So we have an understanding what they're all about and what these kids are striving for. I have no idea what these assassins are trying to do. Oh, so it's a him. I honestly thought it was a girl. Okay, so I guess we're giving a comparison. You have this kid, this blue kid who feels worthless and incapable of doing anything. And then you compare that to the teacher, yellow smiley face, who is overconfident and is more than capable. Whoa. He seems to be very, very interested in someone to be a challenge to him. Yeah, I have more questions than answers for this one. I mean, like, I guess just to get some of the nice stuff out of the way, the designs look nice. I like the colors. I said that. Well, I appreciate that. They have some distinct characters, like Nagisa, for instance, has blue hair, so that way that character can stand out. A couple of the other characters might have green hair or purple hair, so they're able to stand out. I really, really appreciate when designers do stuff like this. It just makes it very easy to remember who's who. I have a ton of questions. Like, the only thing that's honestly hooking me onto the show right now is this weird question as to, like, okay, what is this all about? Why on earth? Who thought it was a good idea to take one of the most dangerous beings in the freaking universe that blew up part of the moon to go and teach a classroom of kids? Whoever thought that was the solution? Last I checked, when we did the Avengers, they didn't exactly make Thanos a school teacher. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, that's how we'll solve our problems. The Avengers can't take him down, so let's give him to some kids. Sure, why not? So I'm struggling to know what the purpose of that is. The only thing that I have a feeling is kind of a missing piece of the puzzle is no one is yet asked, and I mean, I'm sure this will be in a later episode, no one's yet asked, okay, why did you blow up the moon? Why do you want to blow up the Earth? why do you do what you do? Why do you take pleasure in this kind of stuff? Why do you take pleasure in people trying to kill you? Is it that this character is just interested in a challenge? Maybe it's like One Punch Man, where you have a character who's so overpowered that there's nothing left to do in the universe and you feel kind of empty, and therefore you're looking for a little bit of excitement. Those are the few things that I'm wondering about. I'm debating whether I want to see this or not. All I could say is I'm a bit sort of on the fence right now whether to check it out or not, because again, I compare it to My Hero Academia. At least My Hero Academia had a very clear, distinct goal, that you had the main character, Midoriya, who wanted to become a hero, meets All Might, asks All Might the big questions like, hey, can I be your hero too? Even though he doesn't have any special powers. And so that becomes the hook into the show, and that becomes really fascinating. Like, it would have been nice if we were at least shown even a backstory. Like, I didn't know if there was going to be like the whole point of this classroom is to teach them how to be professional assassins or anything, but it would have been nice to show even some backstory, just like, okay, where do these guys come from, how do they suck before, and why are they being thrown in here? The opening, the big problem I have with the opening is that it showed too many people, and after a while it's like, I'm sorry, who the heck are you? You need to really focus on your main characters, whether it's the first 3, 5, whoever. Those are just my simple thoughts. All right, next we're going to switch things up a bit to go to one of the most well-known romance animes out there, which is called Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions. I've seen this many times. So, like, not the show, I mean, but I've seen images and clips many times. Episode 1, Wicked Lord Shingan Reborn. By the way, just recently I checked out the episode 1 for season 4 of the new Attack on Titan show. What were your thoughts on it? Let me know down in the comments. I'm a big fan of Attack on Titan. You guys know, especially been a big fan of the series. I checked this out from day one. Okay, so first problem, you don't ever do split screens. Sorry, I gotta pause this right now. I hate it now when people do split screens. I used to make this mistake too, and I'm just saying this flat out. You don't ever do a split screen. And the reason why is because whenever you're watching something, even though you have all this room to do whatever you like, and I'm just saying this as a filmmaker, designer, whatever, even though you have all this room, you need your audience to focus on at least one part at a time. Maybe you can take advantage and hide stuff around. But the problem is when you have a split screen, basically you're kind of almost making everyone focus on both sides of the screen at the same time, make sure they're catching up. Now, something that they are doing, that which is at least kind of smart, is they have more of the action happening on the right-hand side than on the left. The girl on the left is just sleeping, and that's fine. But normally you don't do the split screen. That's just bad technique. Anyways, it's a catchy song. I love the colors. I love the animation, telling us a lot about these girls. I'm already getting the sense that there's some fantastic elements, and it's kind of like wholesome in some shape, way, or form. It's almost like this main girl kind of watched Konosuba and had a major crush on Megameme and wanted to dress up as her as a cosplay. There's a disruption in the force. I'd be very interested how they're going to write someone with syndrome, because writing characters with mental illnesses or mental challenges is very hard, because there's just that fine line where you want to give enough information that people can understand what's going on, but you don't want to be insensitive about it. Whoa, that's crazy. In all fairness, this kind of reminds me of Star Wars fans when they go up to the self-activating doors and they just go up and they pretend to use the Force. It looks like a pineapple. So there's 2 people with syndrome? CG cars are blending in nicely. Of course, I know it's CG, so there's that. What's with these people? Wait, so they have powers? Or is this inside their head? What the? Reminds me of Magical Girls. Are they all just playing along or something? Okay, so they are imagining it then. Wow, she's good. The girl with the long pigtails reminds me of Beatrice from ReZero. Okay, so if I have this Correct. So the girl with the eye patch and the girl with the blonde pigtails have syndrome, and so they keep imagining that they're in some fantasy world, some sort, and everyone else just kind of plays along with them to a certain degree. And then the concern was that the boy and the girl were living together, and they thought that was going to be inappropriate. So now the girls moved in with 2 other girls, so that she has an apartment. All the hoo-ha that happened beforehand, I don't know, I had a hard time trying to get into this. Like half the time I literally didn't have a clue what was going on. Like, I don't know, if I were to make a comparison, like it reminds me when I watched Rent a Girlfriend, at least I was able to understand what was going on there. It had a very clear premise and a very clear idea of what was going on. All we set up is that here's 2 kids going into a new year of high school. Girl has syndrome and they're just trying to get her a new apartment. That's it. So, yeah, okay. Don't know if I'd watch it, but yeah, okay, fine. It's not really making me happy. I'm sorry, but that's just it. So next up, we have Psycho Pass. This was recommended by the Max Cloud. Okay, I get it. Congratulations, we're gonna watch this now. Thank you to everyone who's been commenting this and leaving me this as a suggestion. So, is that how it normally opens up, I wonder? I think it's interesting that it gives a little bit of an opening, but then it jumps right into the episode. That's kind of new. I haven't seen any of the previous anime do something like that. I like the setting. I always love it. I'm very drawn to night and rain and stuff like that. That's a very cool setting. Dude, what's with this truck? It's like the magic school bus fighting criminals or stuff.
That's it.
Hey, that's the voice actor for Reiner. Okay, well that's just horrible. I really like the grungy aesthetics. So it measures how dangerous someone is. That's interesting. Helps also prevent trigger-happy cops, which can happen, and it is an actual thing. Ugh. That's nasty. Reminds me of Captain America Winter Soldier, right? Where there was a computer that looks into your history, and depending on your history determines whether or not you're basically a good person or whether you should be terminated, as a way of like basically the government pushing some form of fear dictatorship. Basically letting a computer determine whether or not you're not human enough to stay alive. But it's missing that human empathy. Again, I love the design of the nighttime at city. That was interesting. I like the music. I like the designs of everything. I especially love the aesthetic of like really dark alleyways, but to me it didn't feel uncomfortable. It was just dark alleyways, but there was bright neon lights and whatever. I think the show, what it appears to me is like it's a question of you have basically this computer system that judges whether or not you're fit to live or and exist and stuff like that based on your mental capacity and stuff like that. And you have this girl who's adding that sort of empathy to it. It's like, here's a girl who was a victim and we just need to help her not become another bad person, because often that's what happened, right? You have victims who get mistreated, and then some people either choose the good path, or sometimes, more often than not, they choose to do more bad to other people. So yeah, the guy was right about it being contagious, the psychopaths or whatever. Those are some really cool guns. That's some really cool technology. It seems like, as far as like cops and robber kind of shows go, that seems like a really interesting concept. Yep, and very, very well done in terms of how they introduce everyone. Honestly, I think that was really, really well done. Like, congratulations. Now, I will be honest, it's not exactly my cup of tea. I don't know if I would watch it. I do commend it because it was actually very, very well done. Great job. The next show we're watching, this is kind of a brand new show. I think it's only been out for what, just a few weeks, called Wandering Witch: The Journey of Elena. And I mean, if you guys know me, I love my fantasy. So let's check this out. So episode 1, Elena, the Apprentice Witch. Okay, so the first episode is in English. So they just started dubbing this, which is really, really good timing. Interesting tone. It feels very wholesome.
I'd earned a bit of a reputation with the other witches. I'm way too busy.
My only question is, what kind of reputation? Why isn't that a good thing? You were the youngest one to pass. I think that's awesome. I like the music a lot. So I have the same question as when we watch Assassination Classroom. So what's with these witches? What's so good about them? Why do you want to become one? I can't help but look at this, and I know I'm drawing a lot of comparisons, but I keep thinking about Harry Potter, because at least there's wizards and witches. Here's a thought. I wonder if secretly she's making her... Okay, I was going to say with the recipes and stuff, is she being taught special recipes and potions without her even knowing about it?
An entire month passed by.
A month? Okay, come on. This is the time where you're going to be like, yo, I quit. And then the teacher turns around and be like, okay, let me tell you what I've been really teaching you this entire time. You know, some good old Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off. That was a cool fight, by the way. Like, that was really, really, really pretty and interesting. Thundaga! So is this another one of those bullcrap things where you have to have the wand? And if you don't have a wand, then you're just useless? What are we doing? Aw, we're doing some bonding. So, empowerment? Is that the direction we're going? You can really see how far the animation quality has come from... Yeah, you can see how far the animation style and quality has come. Like, I remember watching Rent-A-Girlfriend, which is also new this year. But also, especially looking at this, like, animation has come so far. Like, I'm seeing so much detail and some really cool stuff happening. This is awesome. So, in other words, don't get an ego. Don't be a cocky hero. And... don't die. That's basically it. It's almost like this is the equivalent of the story of like Bakugo or Todoroki in an alternate universe. Isn't she 15 right now? Okay, so now she's 18. I guess the only kind of big issue I have, maybe? So I understand that they're kind of foreshadowing like the big challenge is that, you know, don't get cocky, don't get egotistical, don't get carried away, you know, don't do anything practically stupid. And the girls, the other witch said something like your biggest strength, but also your biggest flaw, you're not willing to say no, like you're not willing to, like you're always putting up with stuff. And at some point, like you got to sort of stop and hold back. I don't know, there's a few conflicting messages because like, it's like the parents say one thing, the witch says another thing. To me, it seems like a story of female empowerment, which is all fine. I'm all for that. I can name other examples of way better story uses of female empowerment. Like Mulan is a great example of female empowerment. Not the crappy one. I mean, I'll still watch it. It feels like a very wholesome, well-designed, great music, fantasy stuff about some witches, and girls, and stuff like that. The only thing is, we just watched the episode in English, and either I wait for the English dub to catch up, or I just get going on the Japanese. So, tough decisions. Tough decisions. Alright, now we're finally on to our final episode. We're watching Jojo's Bizarre Adventures. This was recommended by Bone Druid. Kinda, sorta. I've heard so much of Jojo's Bizarre Adventures. If you're in the anime community, chances are you probably follow Gigok, Sea-Dog VA, The Anime Man, or even their podcast, which is Trash Taste. Obviously, I follow all of them. I've been listening to the Trash Taste episodes on a weekly basis. And if you know those three, they're huge fans of Jojo. Only pre-warning I have is that some people say it's kind of hard to get into. I'm guessing it's just kind of weird. But we're going to check it out nonetheless. So I'm excited. I'm expecting something that might be weird. It might be artistic. I don't know what's going to happen, though. Woohoo! Japanese text. Interesting colors. Like, they're really contrast between green and purple. What the... The mask, yo. I'm not a big fan of some of the animations and designs. Okay. The death glare. It's quite a stylized fight, too. I'm sorry, but that sky is a joke. Now, see, this is doing a really good job at setting up their wants and their goals. And especially what's in their way. You know what's interesting about their design? The more I look at it, it's their eyes. They have a very interesting way of designing the eyes. You're not supposed to feed dog grapes. What's with these triangles? Now it just got interesting. Ooh, headbutt. Headbutt to the jaw. Let's get it. There we go. There's the to be continued meme. The animation has a very distinct style. The characters have a very, very unique style. The fight scenes have a very unique style. There were some aspects of the designs that I didn't like. I mean, that sky was a joke. I'm sorry, but especially when I saw Attack on Titan, it literally looked the type of thing that you design in like Microsoft Art or whatever. Nice story. So it's the whole series just about these two rivals, Dio and Jojo, going after each other. Is that it? I mean, it's interesting, don't get me wrong. And it's interesting how this can sort of evolve. I've yet to understand what the mask does. Like, apparently the mask changes fate or something like that. So I've yet to understand the whole purpose of that. What I liked about that episode was it was very simple, right? It's a very simple setup. So you have the two characters, arch rivals. They hate each other's guts. They want Dio wants to steal from Jojo. Jojo just wants a happy life. I mean, I guess the only thing that the episode was missing is kind of just why. Like, why is Dio so upset? Like, I guess he feels entitled. Maybe his dad brainwashed him or something like that. It's like, why is it that he's happy and I'm not? That's the only thing I can think of. Let me know in the comments. Do you think I should watch the whole series? I only ask because, like, I know of other people who are like, I love the whole series. The anime is so fantastic. There's some people who are just absolutely obsessed with the show. This one, I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll go and check it out, maybe, but it's not exactly something I really desperately want to watch. Those are the episodes I watched. Let me know down in the comments about your thoughts. Let me know what you think of these episodes. And yeah, if there's any shows that you want me to go check out, let me know down in the comments. In the meantime, take it easy. Like, subscribe, comment down below. You know what to do, guys. Have fun, and I will see you next time.